rabbit lost and the tortoise went on to win the race. He then went on to add about the rabbit staying alert next time when the race happened. He further added that tortoise thought to have another race this time about crossing the river and winning it as it had the competency to swim in the river while the rabbit could run fast only on land. He concluded by saying that it is upon the ability or competency of any person to compete and sustain in a particular environment, and one must not lose heart and concede defeat easily. The keynote address was delivered by Ms. Soumya Bajal, independent writer and ad woman, gender right activist, jury, Ladli Media Awards for Journalism. The highlight of the keynote address was stress or emphasis on responsibility when one is thinking about raising a business. Ms. Bajal shared her opinion that artificial intelligence is seeming to reduce expenses on talent, but it is important to think whether artificial intelligence or AI is reducing expenses at the cost of reducing jobs. Is it creating more health issues and is it creating division between employed and unemployed? She asked the audience to think whether atom bomb was created to usher in world peace or world domination. Citing this, she again stressed on the need to realize responsibility that comes with creation of business and responsibility that comes with profit. The opening session of the day ended with the vote of thanks by Ms. Varnika Singh, Assistant Professor, BCIPS, Member Organizing Committee, who offered a sincere thanks to all the dignitaries for sharing their thoughtful insights and thanked the management for organizing the session. She offered thanks to all the eminent dignitaries for gracing the occasion with intellect and sharing their point of view on the theme of the conference with the delegates and the students' fraternity. The second part of the day featured a technical session. This session was chaired by Dr. Pankaj Kumar Gupta, Professor Jamia Millia Islamia. A total of 18 papers were presented in person and 4 papers were presented in absentia. Papers presented were from different domains of management, for example, finance, marketing, information technology, and human resource. The papers presented covered topics like wholesale and retail food inflation, mutual fund and retail investors, dementia and diagnostics, online payment applications, preparedness against earthquakes in Delhi region, electric vehicles, job stress, healthcare sector, and CRM, to name a few. The session chairs suggested a few researchers to follow next level approach for the research work. Few were suggested to use different statistical methods to bring greater insights in the research work. And for few papers, they even suggested to perform empirical findings. The session was co-chaired by Dr. Shilpa Sindhu, Associate Professor, North Cap University. Now we come to the second day or the third day of the conference, that is 29 July 2023. The second day of the conference was held in online mode, saw the host for the day welcoming the dignitaries, participants, and the audience. They also introduced the guests for the panel discussion to the audience. The director, Dr. Aparna Mishra, on her part, welcomed the distinguished panel and expressed hope of a potential quality discussion, especially about the global perspectives on climate change, technological interventions, and community perspectives. She thanked the panelists for their presence and expressed a sincere hope for an engaging and entertaining discussion. The opening session of the second day of the conference featured a panel discussion on the theme of the conference and different sub-themes for the 4 panelists. Ms. Smita Rakesh, Partner Social Alpha, Rockefeller Foundation, Global Fellow 2019, Yale World Fellow 2023. Dr. Helen Cripps, Senior Lecturer at Edith Cowan University, Australia. Mr. Prashant Banerjee, Director and CEO at Swarna Pragati Housing Microfinance Private Limited. Mr. Abhishek Anand, Co-founder and CEO, ApnaViz by Reimagine Fintech Private Limited. The panel discussion was moderated by Ms. Smita. The panelists exchanged their point of view on various sub-themes which were given to the panelists. The first panelist, Ms. Smita Rakesh, spoke on the impact of innovation and climate change on business sustainability, while the second panelist, Dr. Helen Cripps, spoke on the sub-theme Global Perspectives on Business Sustainability. Our third panelist, Mr. Prashant Banerjee, shared his views on the sub-theme The Ethics of Sustainability in the Financial Sector. And our fourth panelist, Mr. Abhishek Anand, expressed his views on the sub-theme Startups and Sustainability, How Startups Can Become More Sustainable. Ms. Rakesh, in her address, spoke on the need to bridge the gap among early-age new startups, government-funded research and development, and the philanthropic systems. She stressed on the need for industry, the government, and philanthropic startups to support startups that are doing good work, offering new innovative solutions, but as they are new businesses offering new or unique products, they need to be managed better as they are at high risk and low return proposition. She said that her organization, Social Alpha, has supported more than 200 startups and significantly invested in more than 65 startups amongst them, which are in some way or the other related with sustainability. She highlighted the urgent need to work on mitigating greenhouse gases, avoidance of emissions, carbon or capture or renewal, She also stressed on the need for the industry to prioritize areas often neglected. She said that the small and micro enterprises don't have many resources. It is about industry prioritizing affordable green housing and providing affordable motorized transport. She stressed upon the need to recognize the need for working on the healthcare dimension, concerns of marginal farmers as well, to make their occupation sustainable, as it is the common man who suffers first and then as compared to the issues of pollution and climate change. Our second panelist, Dr. Cripps, after welcoming the audience present, in her address highlighted that though Australia is an advanced economy, but it has issues concerning sustainability. She, in a presentation, shared with the audience present on the SDG goals in which Australia has been doing well and the goals in which its performance has been found lacking. She highlighted that Australia has not been very good, especially in the areas of climate action and responsible consumption and production. She talked about the population growth and reducing workforce, the climate change calamities like bushfires, forest scarcity in cities, urbanization and creation of plastic waste, and the loss to the ecosystems with extinction of animals. She also talked about the issue of deforestation and food security. In her concluding remarks, she said that there are critical questions that need to be answered in a country, like how can the governments be urged to support sustainable practices in SMEs, how innovation can happen at levels of individuals, families, and communities to enable sustainable practices, and the key question of how governments and industries support SMEs which incorporate sustainability in their business operations. Our third panelist, Mr. Prashant Banerjee, in his address said that the financial sector runs on trust and trust will come through ethics. He said that funding for startups should factor in sustainability. While funding startups, employability, and the cooperation among the departments crucial to success of the funding, he cited the example of Fidos Banks, which he said has been involved in social and environmental projects. He summed up his address by saying that ethical banking do not wait for money making, but it is the need of the hour. Funding the SMEs will involve more patient decisions. It will not happen overnight, but that is the way to go. Our final panelist, Mr. Abhishek Anand, co-founder and CEO, ApnaBiz Fintech Private Limited, in his address to the audience, shared his views on building a sustainable startup. He offered an operating framework for building a sustainable startup in terms of defining a problem, proposing a solution, estimating the cost involved, capabilities and constraints, and ensuring that the firm is growing and at the same time the venture becomes a profitable one. Mr. Anand highlighted the key concern areas of short and long-run environmental and social impact of businesses, corporate governance, work culture, diversity and inclusion of workforce based on merit, equal opportunity to the employees, welfare of employees, customer services and technology, and the fiduciary responsibility. Ms. Smita Rakesh and the other distinguished panelists present then answered a wide variety of questions from the audience on areas related to sustainability and business operations at the end of the discussion. Moderator, Ms. Smita Rakesh, and all the other distinguished speakers were appreciating the quality of discussion, the inputs shared, and the questions asked by the audience, which included the students of management, faculty members, and the director. A vote of thanks by the co-convener conference, Dr. Praniti Paheli, was offered in the end, wherein she thanked the panelists for their contribution to the panel discussion in the key concern areas of making businesses sustainable and at the same time making sure that the fruits of sustainability reach everyone. She applauded the valuable insights offered by the eminent panelists. Dr. Paheli also offered a gratitude to the delegates, the faculty members, and the students for their participation and support. She thanked the director and the management for their role in making the conference a reality. The technical session 2 of the day was anchored by Priyanka Saluja, Assistant Professor, BCIPS. This session was chaired by Dr. Niharika Gand, Assistant Professor, MDI, Murshidabad, and it was co-chaired by Dr. Navneet Bhatt, Assistant Professor, Narsi Monji, Institute of Management Studies. In all, 22 papers were presented in this session. The major topics that were covered during the paper presentation were a wide variety belonging to the functional areas of marketing, human resources, general management, finance, and IT. The paper presenters through the papers presented relevant and contemporary topics like the impact of social media influencers on brand attitude in premium cosmetics market, comparative analysis of different classification of algorithms, CRM roadmap, better healthcare services, challenges and opportunities of demographic dividend in India, female shopper behavior at the marketplace, to name a few. While some were based on data taken from secondary sources, others relied on data from primary sources for analysis, preparation, and presentation. The chair, Dr. Niharika Gand, then offered observations on the papers presented in terms of areas of further study and improvement in terms of need for problem statement, research gap, adequate literature review using latest data, research papers from logical, theoretical, and contextual argument perspectives, methodology undertaken, sample size, sampling technique, findings, and their presentation. She also stressed upon managerial implications and their writing. And she said that it should include the researchers' contribution towards the industry while congratulating the participating delegates on the successful paper presentation. He stressed on the theoretical underpinnings and the need to conclude better. She also suggested citations of research papers from at least last 5 years. The chair was ably assisted by the co-chair, Dr. Navneet Bhatt, in sharing observations on paper presentation. Finally, the valedictory address was given by Ms. Poonam Vijay Thakkar, Mentor of Change, Niti Aayog. Ms. Thakkar started by saying 48.5% of the population consists of women, and this conference featuring a women participation is thing to be happy about and feel proud as a symbol of women empowerment. She shared a story of Sam looking at his enthusiasm. She said that your journey towards growth will not always be smooth. There will be storm and winds, but during these testing times, your mental strength will enable you to become a tree. Just as the wise oak tree had Sam during storm bended but never broke. Growth is not about becoming a mighty tree, but about the relationships formed and the challenges faced. She stressed upon the students to remember the wisdom of the oak tree and realize the opportunity that India provides. The largest and the youngest human resource, we are the fourth largest economy now, she stated. She highlighted the golden rules for success. One, the sustainability is a fundamental pillar for prosperous future. Two, interconnected world, profits alone not the measure for success, and it is their responsibility of the companies to create a legacy wherein the society grows with them. Three, never go complacent in your approach. World is changing. There's a need to upgrade. Agility for being relevant in the business world. Four, empathy and integrity. And five, collaboration and cooperation. She motivated the students to believe in themselves while they push their careers ahead. She also announced the Best Paper Award, being voice-based email systems, a solution to the digital communication for individuals with visual impairments. This paper was written by Dr. Sushma Bahuguna and Muskan Tyagi from BCIIT. Finally, before I conclude, I take this opportunity to say that it is a matter of great honor for me to be presented with this opportunity to deliver the valedictory note. I wish all the participating delegates great success in their future endeavors. I do sincerely hope that our students will gain immensely from this experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. May I please request you to announce the second best paper award?
Okay, the second best paper was presented on the paper Determinants of Trust and E-commerce Adoption. The paper written by Dr. Akhilesh Singh Hussain and Dr. Rahul Gupta, research scholar, Amity University, Noida, Associate Professor, Amity Business School. Sorry if I had missed that earlier. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you so much, sir. May I request Ms. Swarnika Singh, Assistant Professor, BCIPS, to present the vote of thanks for the evening.
Thank you so much, Priyanka ma'am, for giving this opportunity. And it is my honor to propose a vote of thanks to everyone who is associated with this national conference from last 3 days. So research is actually what propels humanity forward. It is fueled by curiosity. We get curious, ask questions, and immerse ourselves in discovering everything. There is to know. Learning is thriving. Without curiosity and research, progress would slow to a halt, and our lives as we know them would be completely different. So, researchers perform an essential role in learning new treatments and ensuring that existing treatments are used best. So, I feel honored to to present a vote of thanks on this great occasion. I, on behalf of the whole BCIPS fraternity, hereby extend our sincere thanks to all the dignitaries for gracing the event and sharing the valuable vision, inputs, and experiences. We had giant personalities associated with us from last 3 days. We had Dr. Pooja Khatri, Professor USMS, GGS IPU. We had for inaugural session, we had Dr. Ashok Kumar Nagawat, Vice Chancellor DESU, Dr. Shri Pradeep Chaturvedi, Joint Secretary Rajya Sabha, Shri Soumitra Mandal, Director IP, Department of Telecommunication, Dr. Abdul Qadir Pasha, Labor Enforcement Officer, Ministry of Labor. We had Ms. Soumya Bejal, independent writer, gender right activist. We do have the great panel with us, Ms. Smita Rakesh, Dr. Helen Cripps, Mr. Prashant Banerjee, Mr. Abhishek Anand for gracing the occasion. A very special thanks to the technical session chair to listen all the papers very patiently and finding out the best papers therein. We thank Dr. Pankaj Kumar Gupta, Professor Jamia Millia Islamia, Dr. Shilpa Sindhu, Associate Professor, North Cap University, Dr. Niharika Ghan, Professor, MGI, Dr. Navneet Bhatt, Assistant Professor, Narsi Munji Institute of Management Studies. A great thanks to all the dignitaries and the technical session chair. We sincerely hope that our audience would have been benefited immensely by getting this opportunity to listen and interact with our illustrious pool of dignitaries and researchers. A big thanks to all the participants for being associated with us by making this event a great success. I thank to our Honorable Vice Chairman, Shri Vipul Gupta ji, respected Director Ma'am, Dr. Aparna Mishra, for her continuous support, guidance, vision for organizing this event. My sincere thanks to the anchors of the event, Ms. Tanushri, Ms. Shivali, Ms. Priyanka, for making this session, all these sessions, a very interactive way. I thank our organizing committee member, Dr. Pranati Paheli, Dr. Shahid, Dr. Dhaya, for their continuous support. My heartfelt thanks to our student coordinator, Piyush, Balmukund, Shivam, Harman, Harit, Zubeda, Tarandeep, Satwik, Aman, and Harshit. Beside the entire BCIPS fraternity, special mention to the support staff. Thank you very much. We are looking forward to have a great association in the future also. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Thank you, Priyanka ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Uh,
May I
Priyanka,
kindly request everyone to turn on their cameras for a group photograph?
Priyanka, just a minute. If you can just give me 1 minute. I just would like to add on to Swarnika's statement, like Swarnika's address, vote of thanks. Can I, Priyanka, with your permission?
So, ma'am. So, ma'am.
Yeah, so adding to Swarnika's extended vote of thanks, I take this opportunity to thank you, all my faculty members who were behind the success of this conference. So here I would like to take the names: Dr. Shamsher Singh, Dr. Devinder Sharma, Dr. Taru, Dr. Shahid, Dr. Pranati, Miss Swarnika, Miss Priyanka, Miss Shavalini, Miss Neha, Miss Pooja, Mr. Jayan Sanyal, Dr. Vikas Daya, Dr. Suniti Chandiyo. Am I forgetting anyone? Miss Megha Kumari. Then who else? Am I forgetting anyone? Please help me out, because without their support, this could not have been possible. So thank you so very much, all the faculty members, to make this program a memorable program for all of us. Thank you. Thank you, Priyanka.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, we are done with the group photograph.